Stop for a moment. Close your eyes and breathe slowly, my dear daughter. This moment you're experiencing right now, this exact second that these words reach you, has been carefully prepared by Saint Michael the Archangel before time even existed. It is not just another day passing by in your life. It is a sacred encounter, a meeting point between eternity and your everyday reality. It is the moment when you finally understand that you have never been forgotten. You did not come across this message by chance. It was not an algorithm, it was not luck, it was not coincidence. It was Saint Michael the Archangel who guided your steps here. He watches your every move, every tear you have shed in silence, every prayer whispered in the dark. All of this is part of the meticulous plan he has laid out, especially for your life. You are exactly where you should be, at the perfect moment he chose for you. At this very moment, you are on the threshold of a transformation that will explain why so many things have tried to destroy you and failed miserably. You did not come into this world to live an ordinary existence, my beloved. Your soul carries a special mission, a unique light that was meant to shine through you, transforming everything around you. And today, in this sacred moment that Saint Michael the Archangel has reserved, he places upon you a spiritual mark that no force of darkness can erase. This mark is not visible to the human eye, but it is instantly recognized in the spiritual world. It is a seal of protection, a symbol of elevation, an identification that makes you noticeable to the heavens. The season of silence is coming to an end. The battles that seemed endless are coming to an end. The waiting period is finally over. Saint Michael the Archangel has declared a change in your spiritual position. Your name has been spoken in the heavenly realms that your natural eyes cannot see. Because you remained faithful, because you kept walking even when all seemed lost, things began to move behind the scenes of eternity. You may not be able to perceive it with your physical senses, but in the invisible world, obstacles have disappeared like mist in the sun. Paths that were blocked have opened up like seas parting. A mark has been engraved on your spirit, visible only to the inhabitants of the heavenly kingdom and the forces that inhabit the higher dimensions. Can you feel it pulsing inside you, my dear? This feeling growing in your chest is not just pretty words to comfort you. It is a real spiritual awakening happening right now. Every pain you have endured, every question that has remained unanswered for years, every door that has been slammed in your face when you needed it most, every opportunity that seemed so close but slipped through your fingers. All of this has led you directly to this moment of personal consecration by Saint Michael the Archangel. The way he protects and covers your life speaks louder than any lie that has ever been told about you. You have not been rejected by the universe. Saint Michael the Archangel was directing you down a different road, a special route. You were not ignored by the heavens. He was keeping you safe for this specific moment. He never forgot who you truly are. Your true identity remained hidden because revealing what he planted within you before the right time would have jeopardized the precious treasure he is now ready to manifest through your life. That is why they were never able to truly hurt you permanently. The people who disappointed you, the friends who turned their backs when you needed them most, the opportunities that disappeared when success seemed assured. Archangel Michael allowed these things to happen because what he has entrusted to you is too valuable to be shared with just anyone or any situation. You are special, my child, and your specialness means that you should never blend in with the crowd. Are you feeling it growing inside your heart? That quiet certainty, that deep understanding? It is Saint Michael the Archangel confirming that these words were written specifically for you. Something is awakening within you. You've been feeling exhausted, haven't you? Not just physically tired, but deeply worn out in your soul. Your emotions were drained like a dry well. You hid your pain behind a strong smile, the kind of exhaustion that even the kindest words cannot reach, because it is more than fatigue. It is the spiritual weight of invisible warfare. But here is the promise that Saint Michael the Archangel makes to you at this moment, my beloved. Because you endured, because you kept walking even when your feet bled, because you didn't let go of what he whispered in your ear even when it seemed impossible, he is making it clear to the entire spiritual realm that you belong to him. He saw you praying even while you cried. He watched you keep the faith through devastating losses. He witnessed you standing firm when everything around you was falling apart. You now have the undivided attention of Saint Michael the Archangel. This consecration he has made over your life cannot be undone by any force. That is why things have been intense for you lately. Why did relationships fall apart when you got closer to him? Why can't other people understand your sensitive nature, the quiet wisdom you carry, or the unique way he guides you through life's paths? Let them express their doubts. Let them find reasons to laugh at your convictions. Let them question your identity, asking who you think you are. Because soon they will witness what happens when Saint Michael the Archangel lifts someone he has strategically placed into a position of divine visibility, a place that no human structure, no shadow, no lie, no limitation can truly weaken or destroy. You have survived situations that have destroyed other people. This is living proof that he was actively involved in every detail of your journey. This is the evidence you needed, my precious one. And this evidence is being confirmed in the invisible realm at this very moment. Your turning point has arrived. Saint Michael the Archangel has distinguished you in this particular way. You are no longer hidden from the heavenly eyes. No one will mistake you for an ordinary person anymore. Before continuing with this powerful revelation, write in the comments, Saint Michael the Archangel keeps me safe in all my ways. This gesture activates special protection over your life and strengthens your connection with the heavenly forces working on your behalf. Now let's continue, because what comes next will touch your soul deeply. When Saint Michael the Archangel sets you apart in this way, his protection walks with you, but challenges may also arise. Therefore, do not return to what he has freed you from. Do not invite back what almost stole your inner peace. Do not invest your deepest feelings in what kidnapped your tranquility. You are entering the path he has prepared specifically for you, and he walks beside you every step of the way. But being uniquely positioned brings with it a seriousness, a sacred responsibility. What he has placed upon you is not for personal display, but to create genuine change in the world around you. When you use your voice, situations will transform in the lives of others. When you enter a room, the atmosphere of that place will be altered by your presence. When you communicate with him through prayer, concrete results will happen. And if this message has touched something deep within your heart so far, if you feel that you want to support it so that it reaches more people who also need this revelation, click thank you very much. This gesture of kindness strengthens this mission to spread light and hope to those who need it most. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The reason for all this is that today, Saint Michael the Archangel has granted you authority in a renewed way. The time of intense struggle is now over, and the purpose of your existence is finally beginning to manifest itself. The questions buried deep in your heart are receiving their answers at this very moment. You wondered when it would be your turn to shine. That time is now. You asked when this suffering would make sense. It makes sense now, completely. You wondered why you went through all that. It was so that you would be prepared for what he is entrusting to you at this sacred moment. But understand this truth completely, my daughter. Do not misuse what Saint Michael the Archangel has just accomplished in your life. Do not hesitate or procrastinate in following where he guides you. Do not allow anything to enter your thoughts or your life that could divert you from the course laid out for you. What he has placed upon you is unique, precious, and comes with divine responsibility. You have not only been recognized by him, you have been given a specific mission. You have not simply been chosen for privileges. You have been assigned an important role. He sees you completely, knows every part of your history, and from this moment on, you are protected in a renewed and more powerful way. Have you noticed this feeling? As if the atmosphere changes when you approach certain places. That specific feeling that hangs in the air even without a word being spoken. This was not a figment of your imagination. It was something that lived within you, something that Saint Michael the Archangel made unique, causing the environment around you to respond to your spiritual presence. He never planned for you to disappear into the crowd. My daughter, it was not his desire for everyone to accept you without question. You were shaped to be different, not because you are superior to others, but because the path he prepared for you required you to move through life in a unique and special way. The moments of solitude were not punishment. They were his way of ensuring your safety and preparation. Those periods when you felt isolated, when it seemed that no one truly listened to you, when relationships ended abruptly without logical explanation, did not happen because you were unwanted or unloved. It happened because Saint Michael the Archangel was keeping you away from influences that could harm the divine process he was developing within you. You felt invisible to the world, but he was protecting you even when you felt completely exposed and vulnerable. Something extremely valuable was being formed within you during all that time. If other people had approached you prematurely, they could have interfered with what he was building or damaged the precious good that was being established in your life. Think about how objects of great value are treated, my dear daughter. They are kept safe and carefully guarded, never left exposed without protection. You needed this time apart from the world before you could walk in the specific purpose he has outlined for your journey. Now, those quiet moments make perfect sense. The painful departures were not without purpose. They carried deep meaning. It wasn't simply people abandoning you. Archangel Michael was gently removing things you were leaning on that weren't solid enough to support what is coming into your life. Your inner world needed this invisible season to develop true stability. You were kept apart for your own protection, to allow your authentic identity to emerge clearly and to build genuine spiritual resilience within you. Now that he has guided you through this necessary time of separation, the season of invisibility is coming to an end. It is time for you to emerge from preparation into manifestation. Do not be surprised if people who previously distanced themselves or ignored you completely now seem to be drawn back into your orbit. They may not consciously understand why, but they can sense a change in your spiritual presence. But pay careful attention, my daughter. Do not revisit situations that brought suffering into your life. Do not reconnect with ties that he has severed permanently. The period you spent in solitude was specifically planned for his purpose. It was essential for the future he has in store for you. Even though the path seemed challenging and lonely, my beloved child, it served a genuine and necessary purpose. If you had always felt accepted and embraced by everyone, you might not have sought out the deeper realities of life. Being different allowed you to gain clear perspective on things. During your private moments, he shared revelations with your spirit that only silence can make audible. The strength you demonstrated was not just your personal inner power. It was his closeness protecting you in every difficult moment. Now you enter new environments, not just as you were before, but carrying a firm inner tranquility, a stable strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Right now in the comments, where Saint Michael the Archangel dwells, no shadow remains. This statement strengthens your spiritual shield and dissolves any negative energy that tries to approach your life. Let's continue, because the next revelation will deeply move your heart. This inner power is difficult to describe in simple words, but it is impossible to ignore when it manifests itself. That is why the opposition tried to confuse your mind during moments of solitude. That is why despair tried to take hold of your life. That is why anxiety attacked you in the quietest hours of the night. It was because darkness recognized what was happening in your spiritual world. Have you ever considered that your experiences of isolation were actually preparing you for something lasting and eternal? You will understand your value with absolute certainty and clarity. So pause for a moment, my daughter, and reflect on the journey you have traveled. Not with sadness for the events themselves, but with understanding of the purpose behind each situation. Every moment when progress seemed slow, every time you felt adrift, every period when life seemed to be missing something essential, all of this was part of your spiritual preparation. Archangel Michael was expanding your inner capacity, creating space for what was to come, and establishing you on solid foundations for the abundance that is about to emerge in your reality. And no, not everyone will understand the journey you have taken, but their understanding is not necessary for your advancement. This was not an experience shared with others. It was a path specifically designed just for you. As this behind-the-scenes phase of preparation comes to an end, you will not need to offer detailed explanations to anyone. The results themselves will reveal all that needs to be known and understood. Those who tried to silence your voice thought they were achieving their goals. They did not understand that Archangel Michael was strategically positioning you for a place of divine prominence. The people who tried to diminish who you really are will soon witness the unfolding of your purpose as designed by the heavens. Those who try to keep you in a lower position will see Saint Michael the Archangel lifting you to heights they never imagined possible. This situation has never been about balancing things out in a mundane way. He is not concerned with small victories or superficial adjustments. He will not simply correct what was out of balance. He will lift you up in a remarkable and unmistakable way, When he does, it will be clear to all who observe that it was he who orchestrated your spiritual ascension, not through human intelligence or a search for external validation, but through his own fair and sovereign declaration. You were never forced to defend yourself against the accusations. Every cruel word, every malicious whisper, every fabricated story, he recorded absolutely everything. While you remained silent, he was preparing the final verdict. In the spiritual world, the outcome is already determined and established. Declared innocent, moved forward, elevated, consecrated for his purpose. Those who ignored you are about to see you emerge in a significant and impactful way, and they will not be able to understand how it happened. They will not be able to understand how the person they despised is now rising with divine authority. But you will remember every detail. You will remember the pleas made in the privacy of your room, the tears shed in secret, the nights when you paced back and forth unable to rest, sustained only by faith and a silent determination that came from within. The moments when you chose to do what was right even when giving in would have been easier and more convenient. This phase was prepared far from the public eye, but now it is coming to light in a powerful way. You persevered through the trial of being spoken ill of without reacting with anger, of being cast aside without giving up the walk, of facing false accusations while standing firm in the truth because you remained faithful during the lonely moments. Saint Michael, the Archangel, is about to make your life have an impact that cannot be ignored or denied. They tried to disturb your inner peace, but it only made it stronger and unshakable. You are entering a condition where tranquility is not temporary, but is rooted in your spirit, permanent and inaccessible to external disturbances. And if this message is touching your heart deeply in some way, if something here resonated with what you are feeling right now, click thank you to support this mission of spreading words of healing and hope. This is how we can continue to bring revelations to those who need to hear them most. Issues that once troubled you intensely will cease to affect you in this way. Concerns that invaded your mind uninvited are now gone for good. The fear that limited your decisions has now been completely released. Your own tranquility is now your firm and protective shield. And from this secure position of stillness, you will function with extraordinary effectiveness. Some people who stood against you will not even recognize you in this next phase of your life. Your growth has transformed you so completely that those who only knew your struggles will not be able to identify who you have become. This is perfectly acceptable. There is no need for you to explain the transformation. Let the clear sign of his approval reveal all. What others tried to weaken is now flourishing abundantly. What they ridiculed is now growing strong. What they rejected is now operating with divine power. Who you are is being completely renewed. Your position is being corrected by his touch. You don't need to seek approval or chase after human recognition. The position that Archangel Michael is establishing for your life cannot be obtained through money, human skill, or external manipulation. It is yours as something graciously bestowed by him. You will no longer walk forward with a heavy spirit. You will not repress who you are to look like other people. You were never meant to disappear into the common crowd. You were designed to stand out, my precious daughter. And now that is exactly what will happen. This is not merely a restoration of what was lost. It is a confirmation of your true identity. You have not merely survived hardship. You have been called, summoned to rise, called to lead, called to be seen and recognized. No plan of darkness, no human betrayal, no mistake of the past can cancel this divine summons. Therefore, maintain your integrity at all times. Keep your spirit humble before him. Do not get involved with those who try to provoke or disturb you. They are not your primary concern. Your spiritual growth is what matters, because when Saint Michael the Archangel lifts you up, everyone will witness that elevation, and no one will be able to obstruct this upward movement that he has initiated in your life. You have struggled to understand yourself completely, haven't you, my dear daughter? The weight of feeling different from the people around you. The discomfort of experiencing things more intensely and deeply. The way your spirit picks up on issues before your mind can label or explain them. This was not a flaw in your design. It was a special, distinguishing mark. A sign from Saint Michael the Archangel placed on your life even before you were born. You are not too much, my beloved. You are not overly sensitive. You are not unpredictably unreasonable. You are selected for a specific, divine purpose. Other people have told you to tone down your passion, to be less visible, to become smaller than you truly are. But Archangel Michael formed you with an inner energy that they could not confine or control. They ridiculed what they could not understand. Those around you sensed something different about you even before you recognized it in yourself. What you carry within you causes unease in others because your very presence confronts their comfort zone. That feeling of discomfort they experience when you arrive is not fear directed specifically at you. It is an inner warning to themselves. You questioned whether your thoughts were correct, whether you had real value, whether you belonged anywhere. Hear this clearly from me, my dear daughter. Your mind is perfectly healthy. Archangel Michael called you for this purpose. The weight you feel inside is not just ordinary anxiety. It is connected to the reason he created you. The visions you keep receiving are guidance he is providing. That inner turmoil that keeps you awake at night is not confusion. It is Saint Michael, the Archangel, preparing you for something greater. You feel out of alignment with this world because your spirit is connected to a different, higher reality. You are not meant to fit in perfectly. You are brought into existence to be distinctive and to bring about significant change. You are not like most people because you possess something rare, something that defies the usual way of functioning, something that resists what remains hidden. The clear way you think, which you have questioned so many times, operates on a level that others cannot reach or understand. You have fought against lies planted during moments of vulnerability, lies that said you were broken, unstable, too weak. But these were targeted attacks, not the truth about who you really are. Your adversary tried to confuse you because having a clear mind makes you powerful against him. The moment you stop hiding who Saint Michael the Archangel made you be is the moment darkness completely loses its hold on you. Write in the comments, "My energy is sacred, and Saint Michael the Archangel protects me from all evil." This statement seals your vibration in divine light and prevents any energetic imbalance from reaching you. Let's continue, because what comes next may completely change your perspective. Your ability to perceive things that others do not see is not a flaw, my beloved. It is a way for him to alert you to situations. Your capacity for deep feelings is not a weakness. It is something he uses powerfully. You feel things intensely because you are connected to the invisible world. What others call excessive sensitivity, he recognizes as spiritual discernment. What others have labeled emotional instability, he identifies as growth and movement forward. You are guided by something that others cannot perceive or understand. And yes, this journey has cost you dearly. Some relationships could not withstand this intensity. Some bonds were broken because of this difference. There have been forces trying to block you, my daughter. Things have been plotted against you in invisible places. Strategies designed to slow you down, confuse your thoughts, create inner turmoil. The difficult periods you have gone through were not random events. They were directed specifically against you. But what these forces did not understand was the moment designated by Saint Michael the Archangel for those he chose for a special purpose. Nothing that stands against them can win when the time he has set for their liberation arrives. And that time is now, my beloved. Every negative word spoken against you is null and void. Every heavy burden inherited from previous generations is being removed from you. Every accusation made against you in the unseen world is canceled by his power. Something has changed in the spiritual realm, a change that cannot be undone or reversed. The force that tried to bind you has completely lost its authority. What held you back is no longer allowed to operate. You have been wondering why this season feels different from previous ones. Why you feel both difficulty and peace, effort and ease. It is because the rules of the invisible world have changed specifically in relation to your life. You're no longer restricted by old limitations. You're being launched forward toward your divine destiny, my precious daughter. Understand this clearly. Archangel Michael does not remove obstacles simply to make you comfortable. He removes them so that you can fully enter into the purpose for which he created you. You're not just being freed. You're being directed toward transformative action. Every barrier has been removed so that you can move forward completely aligned with what he desires, with all the strength he provides, with the authority he has specifically granted you. This causes real transformations in the world around you. When you speak to Archangel Michael, the invisible world responds immediately. When you declare truth, that which holds other people captive is disturbed and shaken. When you are present in a place, anything that does not come from him must depart. You're not just discovering who he created you to be. You are stepping into the position he has specifically established for you, my daughter. You have continued to move forward through the most difficult seasons. You have not become stuck in difficulty or allowed yourself to be consumed by problems. You kept walking even when it seemed like you couldn't take another step. Now, having passed through this time of testing, wherever you go, you carry his presence. Your steps declare his purpose. Your words have power against those who oppose you, and your very being causes anything that is not of him to retreat. This is not for appearances or to impress people. It is part of his greater plan. You're deeply connected to the greater purpose of Saint Michael the Archangel. Your choice to follow him is a powerful force that manifests itself in visible ways. The fact that you have come this far demonstrates his guidance in your life. The reason he created you is meaningful because your impact lasts forever. Some of you have been feeling this urgency for some time, my child. You have felt a push to go in a different direction, a sense that some ties needed to become less tight. An inner knowing that your current position was too small for what he has in store for you. This did not happen randomly. Archangel Michael was setting the stage for your purpose to become clear. Not so that you would be seen or applauded by the crowds, but for the specific work he has for you to do. He is preparing to use your words, the path your life has taken, the difficult lessons you carry, and even your quiet moments to share something vital with many people who need to hear it. And if this message is touching something deep in your heart, if you feel like you want to support it so that it reaches other people who also need this revelation, click "Thank you so much." This gesture helps keep alive this mission of bringing hope to those who have lost faith. But this is not just for you personally. This change is meant to reach others as well. You carry a light so that others can see the way. My beloved, you have come this far on your journey. You were not meant to turn back now. You have faced many difficulties and challenges. You were not meant to hesitate at this crucial moment. Archangel Michael has led you out of many traps and dangerous situations. You were not created to question his purpose for you now. This is not a time to shrink or retreat. This is his promise to you to expand, because the plans made against you have been canceled for good, and you can move forward with complete confidence. You do not need to be uncertain about the position he has given you. You do not need to explain how you perceive things differently. You do not need to apologize for the depth he has placed within you, my daughter. Simply being who you are disturbs what is false, what has no substance, what has no true life. Let others fail to understand your essence. Let them see you as less than you truly are. Let them ignore you completely, but continue to follow Saint Michael the Archangel. Remain courageous. Keep your focus firmly on him, my daughter, because the strength within you does not come from fleeting emotions. It comes from being truly united with him. What once drained your energy will give way to the presence of his spirit growing within you. And those who spoke negatively about you will have to acknowledge that he truly marked you as special. Now they can no longer touch you or harm you. A protection now surrounds you completely, not seen by human eyes, but felt by those in the unseen realm. You are not merely being watched or monitored. You are being kept completely safe, not by your own efforts or empty desires, but by his declaration, the word of the one who is above all. From the moment you chose to walk in his way, even when others did not understand, because of the spirit he placed upon you, you have been under his protection, my dear daughter. Now, at this specific time, you find yourself in a unique position. The security he has placed around you is becoming firmer and more certain with each passing day. The purpose he has placed upon you carries significant spiritual weight. Yes, it contains the importance of his spirit, the significance of the work he has given you, and the connection to those who have walked before you and those who will come after you. But with that weight comes a fierce, holy boundary, a shield so strong that nothing that opposes Saint Michael the Archangel can ever break through it. Those old worries that used to fill your thoughts can no longer reach your mind. The heavy feelings that once directed your path no longer have power over your steps. You are closely protected. You are completely covered. You are safe from any attack, my precious daughter. That is why you remained standing when others fell around you. That is why the forces of darkness have not been able to conquer or destroy you. That is why certain negative patterns have come to a definitive end in your life. Because Saint Michael, the Archangel, has established a sacred guard within your very being, a protection that is invisible and unknown to those who have positioned themselves against you. You have been marked as belonging to him in the invisible realm. My beloved, now this truth is beginning to show itself clearly in the world in which you walk. Understand this with absolute clarity. Your strength to continue was neither accident nor coincidence. It was planned by Saint Michael the Archangel from the beginning. Others have tried to label you, confine you, make you fit into their small ideas, but they have not been able to touch the truth of who you are, which was beyond their knowledge. What he is doing in your life cannot be understood by simple human minds nor limited by earthly boundaries. You are a unique sign of his work, kept safe by his grace, moving forward according to his purpose for you, and surrounded by his closeness. Through you, it is demonstrated that his word is always reliable and true. Remember the many times the shadows tried to steal your peaceful heart. Recall the traps you couldn't see coming, the ties that seemed helpful but hid pain, the paths that seemed promising but asked you to turn away from what is good and right. But somehow, every time you were close to falling, a hand appeared, a path opened before you. This was not just your own wisdom or simple luck. It was the shield of Saint Michael the Archangel deflecting the blow before it touched you. Understand this truth about the covering over you. It is more than just security for your spirit. It is his plan unfolding. It is a holy guard that keeps your true position hidden from the old forces that sought you. The burdens that have followed your family for generations cannot hold you now. You are walking on a different road from those past difficulties. The fear that came in the dark hours, the weight of worry pressing down, the sadness that stole your breaths. Saint Michael the Archangel has cut its roots completely. This change did not come because you tried harder or gave up more earthly things. It came because the moment he set you apart for this season, the enemy's ability to track you disappeared completely. You're not merely set free. You're held secure in a protection that is beyond human understanding. Write in the comments, "I am protected by Saint Michael the Archangel in all ways." This declaration strengthens your spiritual covering and ensures that your energy is aligned with the divine light. Now let's close this message with a final revelation that can completely transform your perspective on life. Have you noticed how some situations that used to completely upset you now don't even bother you anymore? How certain people who used to drain all your energy have simply lost that power over you? This is not because you have become cold or insensitive. It is because Saint Michael the Archangel has raised your spiritual vibration to a level where low frequencies can no longer reach you. The person you were before this transformation still exists within you, but now they are clothed with a divine authority that cannot be questioned or diminished. When you enter a room, the spiritual forces of that place reorganize themselves, not because you're making an effort to impress, but because the presence of Saint Michael the Archangel who dwells within you naturally establishes divine order. You will notice that certain conversations no longer interest you. Certain entertainments that once held your attention now seem empty. Some relationships that you thought were fundamental in your life begin to seem superficial. This is not you becoming critical or arrogant. It is your spirit responding to the new spiritual reality that Saint Michael the Archangel has established around you. Prepare yourself, because in the coming days you will witness changes that will seem impossible from a human point of view. Doors that have been closed for years will suddenly open. People who never paid attention to you will begin to seek your opinion. Opportunities that seemed destined for others will be directed toward you in a natural and organic way. But always remember, this is not to feed your ego or make you feel superior to others. It is for you to fulfill the specific purpose for which Saint Michael the Archangel brought you here. Every elevation in your life must be accompanied by a grateful heart and a willingness to serve those who are still walking the journey you have already completed. If this message has touched your heart deeply, if something here has resonated with your soul in a way you have never experienced before, I invite you to become part of the spiritual family by subscribing to this channel. It is not just another channel, it is a community of people who, like you, are experiencing spiritual awakening and the protection of Saint Michael the Archangel. Tell us in the comments, which part of this message had the greatest impact on your life? Which revelation touched your heart the most? Your story can inspire others who are on the same path. We are a spiritual family, and each testimony strengthens the entire community. May Saint Michael the Archangel continue to bless and protect you in all your ways.